Hello, hello,
Hello.
happy
Hi, Michael.
Friday. I'm Chantel Francis alongside with my co-host,
Hi, I'm Michael Bez.
and
And I am Nick Rover.
whoop whoop. And so we are here to talk about this week of Big Brother Canada Season 8, and a lot goes down this week.
Yeah, like a lot. Like a
But let's
lot.
just take it back to Sunday and just, we'll just walk through it. Just kind of, let's do
Starting at the
it.
HOH,
Sorry?
starting at the HOH competition.
Exactly. So they were hanging in like from those bars and they're in these sleeping bags. And I was thinking, I was like, okay, like Sheldon shouldn't win this one. Who do I want to win? I'm not sure. Carol drops first, then Angie, then Brooke, then Rianne. And I was like, Sheldon, you should drop. How are you guys feeling at that point?
Well, it's really funny that usually women last longer in endurance challenges, so I didn't know like if the guys would actually be able to hold on that long, but they did. They did.
Well, I think with that particular competition, like, yes, I totally agree. Like, women are better with like endurance type thing, but women don't use their upper body and arm strength that much, and so that burn when it starts to hurt, we're not used to having that much pain in our arms for the most part. Like, this is a gross generalization. Like, I know, but like I probably would drop pretty quickly because it just hurts so much. Like, I can't do push-ups, I can't do pin-ups. Like, holding my body strength by a bar, that wouldn't necessarily be the type of challenge that most like women would be great at. They're usually better with their legs and like lower center of gravity type things generally.
Gotcha.
What do you think, Nick?
Um, I, I think that everyone should be good at it if your strength to weight ratio is fine. I didn't know about that. The muscle groups.
It burns. It hurts so
What would what?
It hurts so much. It
I
burns.
know, but like, does it hurt your back? Does it hurt your shoulders? Is it your hands? Is it your wrists?
I would think shoulders, but
Yeah, they were moving around so much, and I was watching it, and I was like, can they do the thing like where they were hooking up with their wrists and kind of just letting? If you just let your wrist there, it's more of your back using it as opposed to your shoulders and arms. I feel so. Like, I think the guys were moving around a lot, and I just kept seeing the girls hanging kind of still, letting one arm down, letting the other arm down, and like kind of being a lot more still. And the guys were constantly changing up what kind of muscles they were using. So maybe that was their winning strategy. I don't know.
next out is Min, who I pretty much was hoping that she would have won that one. Like, regardless of how she is in the house or whatever, like, I just would love the person that everybody wants out, who just got saved by the grace of God to win that head of household, just to make everybody be like,
Just a cockroach again, right?
Hmm?
Just a cockroach her way out of that.
I love that my favorite cockroach ever.
Yeah.
So Sheldon, Brooke, Vanessa, and Sue pulled in Chris and Sue. So that was just kind of another snippet that they showed about what was going on, like, strategy-wise. And so it's pretty strong, five-some. It's kind of like the KVBS without Kyle, and then bringing in Chris and Sue is kind of what's going on there. I think that what they're not realizing is that Vanessa is actually really detrimental to their grouping. Like, as much as Vanessa goes out and talks to Min and stuff like that, she actually leaks information, and then she goes back and scrambles and lies about it, but she still does leak information. And testy.
Do you think she learned much from the house meeting? Like, and that kind of stopped her, or she was still doing it?
She was still doing it. She was still, like, you saw a little bit in the show, I believe, where how she was talking to Min and like, we're still in this together. I don't know which episode that was in, but like they were still seeming like they're a final two, which was good in her part. But like, she just keeps on leaking information, and eventually that's gonna blow up in her face. Like, it has to.
Yeah.
The house is too small.
She'll be the next Min, just always using her words, manipulating people, talking to everyone. And once Min's gone, she'll be the next person that does that the most. So I don't know why she was thinking it was still a good strategy.
Exactly, because like she and everybody else was blaming everything that she was doing on Min. So once Min's gone, like, who are they going to blame it on? You. Like, it actually is you.
Yeah.
Well, Chris wants to be the comp beast of the season. He's kind of fighting with Sheldon pretty much in the end to stay in it. What do you think about that?
it was kind of embarrassing. Or just like either like guys come up with something because you're just like it's Chris. You keep going. Oh, 10 more minutes. Let's just do 10 more. Like
Yeah.
it's just like guys figure your shit out and like let's get on with it, please. Thank you.
The
Exactly.
only reason I could think he was doing that is because he was hoping Sheldon would slip, and then he could be like, "Oh, I won by default. I was trying to throw it. I just wanted to keep the comp going." Like, I don't know if he was actually trying to win it in there, but then I don't. Yeah, I didn't get it. I think it was his ego, kind of thing.
I think in the end it was both of their egos. Spoiler alert, they were the final two in the end. People that fell out. So Min falls, Maddie falls, Sue falls, then JL falls. And then Vanessa, she was the last girl standing, which they were all kind of giving some applause towards. Then Hira falls, and then we're down to these two guys, final two. I think it would have been a lot better for Sheldon to let Chris have it. Especially since they have that fivesome, they would have the same agenda most likely. Sheldon would not have to get any more blood on his hands. Like they have the same targets, so why does he need to win that competition? Like, tell me, boys, like why?
I could think one reason is back to week, two really, I guess, when Chris was HOH the first time and he told Kyle, I'm either going to put up Mike as a backdoor or Sheldon. That still might be in Sheldon's ear. Like, man, Chris did want to go for me. Sure, Kyle and mostly Kyle convinced him not to, but I was on his radar for a reason. Who's to say that can't change? And the only way I can guarantee safety is by winning. So like that could have been it. That could have been the only reason. He felt threatened by his alliance member because of the past they have together.
Good point. Fair. I'll take it.
And he also just wants to win. Him and Chris are both being like, I want to be the beast this season. I want to win everything. I want to be a great one. I think I already am the greatest. So they're both similar in that way, and it just came down to who was actually going to take it.
It's like something's happened with this game that like that's a thing. Like I don't want the comp beast to win the game. Like that's like my least favorite archetype to win the game of Big Brother. I want the person that strategizes the most, win competitions when they need to, and gets the end by using all of these facets, not just comp beast to the end. Like I think that's so boring. And like it's just I don't know. I love strategy, so it's just not strategic to me.
Yeah. Who's someone that's in the past that's like done a lot of that where they won all the challenges, got to the end and won that you didn't like?
Last season, like all the pretty boys just basically won all the competitions. So regardless of like, yes, Anthony had some great strategy. Dane was like pretty, two-faced, and he was able to lie very well, and he won a lot of competitions. Like if they didn't have all those comp wins, I don't know if their strategy would have worked as well. Like they just always had power. And yeah, that's great. I mean, you get to the end and you win. Okay, cool, you won. But I just don't think that that's the gameplay that I really care about.
It's not fun to watch. It's not fun. I mean, like it's the way of that's how they play the game. But at the end of the day, though, like from our perspectives, like the three of us, we all respect the fact that like it's a well-balanced winner. A well-balanced winner is someone that you want to watch, someone that you didn't know was going to win, that did win, and that tried and like
got themselves out of a sticky situation using their brain.
My favorite example of someone who did all that is Evil Dick, because he was a bit of a comp piece. He won a lot of things. Him and Danielle, they were playing as a duo, and you know how we feel about duos in games like that. It's a stacked hand they had for being together, but they hated each other at the start, so they came around to it. But he won when he needed to. They were on the block with the house against them, and they won the veto and convinced everyone to still kick out the replacement nom instead of breaking up. Like that was like the mastermind side I love watching the game. He had the competitions to back it up, especially when he needed to. If he never was threatened and didn't need to win, I still would have loved him even if he didn't have all those wins. But he's a good balance, a good example of that balance I like. In a comp beast.
And like a comp beast that I really like, obviously, is Janelle.
Like she had everything stacked against her. Like,
she was the underdog that was winning. So
maybe we like underdog comp beasts, not part of an indestructible 4-person alliance like the Pretty Boys comp.
Yeah, like,
underdog comp beasts. I'm like, go get him! Like, I just love sticking it to the big group.
Which is why I like Hira. Like, I like how he's been in the top of almost every competition he's played, but he has played most of the competitions over anyone, I feel, with vetoes and all that. But like, I really liked Hira for that story. He was building that story, and I wanted to watch it.
So Chris, in the end, he lets his ego subside and he allows Sheldon to have this win. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Womp womp. He chooses the have-nots, and that's JL, Brooke, Sue, and Rianne. And yeah, Brooke kind of wishes that that Chris, that Sheldon had let Chris win this. And this is kind of what we were saying, is like Brooke really sees it's like, hey, like let's get this like big light off of us, like, you know, allow Chris to have this win. And Sheldon, after the fact, was kind of like second guessing as to why he wanted to win. But it might be towards that he wasn't fully trusting of Chris. That could make sense for sure.
But like also to Brooke's point, the HOH he won the first time was basically like you have to like balance and speed to get the balls to the tubes, but it was also a popularity contest. And no one wanted to eliminate him fully from the competition, so he won popularity. Then he comes back and shows this like, oh, I can hang on for one of the hardest comps we've done this season and just not even be shaking, just like sit there so easily. Like he's got it all. So I don't think he should have shown it. Right when I think Min dropped and then Hira dropped, he should have immediately let Chris have it. That should have been his. Yeah, because he had Vanessa in there too. Like it would have been, yeah. I don't know why he kept it. Why he kept going.
What a good idea. And then, oh gosh, we have the Carol sad montage of her not wanting to be there and this melancholic music, and she's just so sad.
I don't know why the production gave her that edit. That was an undeserved edit for what I heard her say from the live feeds that you showed me of her like, I just want to double my followers. I've already done this. I'm wasting my time here. Like she was a lot more better, like well spoken during the house meeting.
What you're telling me, producers, is that there wasn't another gay that wanted to be on that show better. That could have been that just different demographic, that different person. But you know what? You let that person go all the way through. No. Nope. Great.
How could she, like, she had months to think about this decision while she kept waiting to hear yeses that she was moving on. Months. How can you not think or rewatch an old season and watch people breaking down in the have-not room or like missing their families like crazy? Like she just underestimated it and got cocky.
I think that there is, well, what's one of the things that she says in this little meeting that she brings everybody to is she says, I wanted to see someone like me on here. I wanted to see a chubby, lesbian, over 40, like that they could be on the show.
And I was like,
cool, man. Like, yeah, way to go.
Like she's representing my demographic, well, part of it, like over 40. Ah! She stole my spot. The diverse category over 40.
Yeah, there's such a diversity.
She's diverse, you know, she
checked off a couple boxes.
Exactly. So she pitches to Sheldon that she wants to go out with her head held high and that she wants to leave on her own terms. And I'm just like, how dare you? I think that's actually what's like rude of her to be like, hey, I don't care that you hung on to that bar for however long and you won that competition, even though it's against like your game, whatever. And now you want to use this to at least get out who you want to like better yourself in the game. But we're supposed to be working together and you want me to give that all up so you can leave on your own terms. Like you want to go GTFO, okay? GTFO. Don't waste my week on your nonsense. Like I was furious when I was watching this. I was like, just go.
Like, wouldn't it have been better is if she was like just trying to get kicked out? Like why? Like why not like do your best to sabotage the entire house so that the house wants you to leave?
Yeah.
Like they go in there and just be like, oh, you know that Sheldon and Brooke are together, right? You know that these people are
blow up alliances and just be.
Carol, why are you telling everybody's alliances to get me to get kicked out? That's like this sad story. It's kind of like that would have been way funnier to watch.
It would have been more entertaining for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she has to also realize that, like, especially if she wants all these followers, like, at least go out with a bang if she's going to be annoying. You know what I mean? Like, make us at least be like, okay, she really wants to go. Okay, at least she did something for it instead of like, an entire week of my time watching this garbage. They can't strategize. The week is completely on hold because this woman is just whinging and moaning, and it's like seemingly because she wants to get her ticket paid home. Like, I think she just didn't want to have to pay for her own plane ticket, because if you quit, you don't get compensated that way to go home.
Yeah.
Is that true? Is that a fact? No.
That's what the speculation was. I don't know if I can't remember if she said that officially.
Well, I think it was Sue being like, she just wants to have her moment on the stage with Arissa. And like, I bet she probably didn't realize that the audiences had been canceled when Sue said that. But like, yeah, she just wanted to go out like this and not be another quitter on this season and dampen it. But I wonder how much of it were the producers being like, don't quit. This season is tanked. Please, we can't have a fourth person quit / get kicked out. We can't. Like, I guess the producers are being like, please, Carol, please. Just
like, we're saying her, we'll pay for your plane ticket. Like, we'll pay, da-da-da. Like, they probably were using that as like a strategy to make her stay.
We're not trying to influence the game here, Carol, but we don't want you to go. Like, you know.
It's just like, just let her go. At least the gameplay could have moved forward. I didn't want Min to leave. I did want Carol to get her comeuppance if they flipped the vote on her.
I love that. That would have been perfect.
So good.
And it's like, is Carol a mastermind at that point? She like volunteered to go on the block and she still stays, and now she just like solidified her place in the house. I don't know if that would make
I wish that she had more gameplay and that it wasn't just like, I really think that she didn't want to actually try and fail.
Yeah.
Like, if you tried hard and failed, it would be more she felt it would be more devastating, and that she would be more embarrassed, and like her ego would have been more hurt and bruised than her going out this way, being like, well, I didn't even try. Like, if I tried, I probably could have won. But now, like, the unknown is left to, everybody's imagination, instead of like knowing for a fact whether or not she was kicked out or not, or like if she was able to win.
I just don't want to talk about her anymore.
I know, but this is the whole episode.
It's mostly the episode, which is I'm mad for them giving her that edit.
The next part that I wrote down is JL and Min try his slop and say it tastes like dog food.
Big moment. Angie falls asleep.
I'm confused. I don't know like when this happened, but what part happened when the laundry with Maddie?
Yeah, Maddie's shirt is pink.
I'm telling you right now, like let's just moving forward, producers, just like with show stuff, we kind of want to see maybe more strategy than Maddie freaking out that something red went into her whites. Oh my God!
To be fair, guys, the shirt was $60. To be fair.
Okay, we do see a little moment with Sheldon kind of holding his emotions when he's reading his letter from his mom. Like, it's cute because he's probably a big softie, but he kind of doesn't want to show any emotions ever. And I think it's pretty cute. It's quite endearing. It makes me like him for sure.
Yeah.
And I think it's also hilarious how that the producers are telling them to get really excited over Wendy's. So they're like, Wendy's! Wendy's!
I love Wendy's. I love Wendy's so much. Wendy's watch party. Yeah.
Wendy's used to be one of my favorite fast food restaurants. I love when they had the salad bar where you can get the nachos and cheese, and then I was eating meat, and it was delicious. I really liked it, but there's not that many Wendy's around, so actually I don't see.
I lived around the corner of one in university, and I was on the walk home from the bar, and they would put the cage up, and you had to go in through a little alley to get to the counter because it was 3 a.m. after the bars, and it would be packed, and I would get 4 junior bacon cheeseburgers and just take them home, and that was my.
Sounds like that's what you have to do now to get Wendy's.
Yeah. Well, that was also 10, 12 years ago. 12 years ago.
So next, Min's talking to JL again. Talking about JL said that he would vote Carol out and that he likes Min. Min is also saying that she's mentally exhausted from always having her game on the line, and that would really suck. That
backed in a corner.
yeah, people are like outwardly being like, yeah, you're up next. Like, so at least she knows and she's not gonna be blindsided. But like, it does really suck to be fighting against, like, up against a wall. And it's just such an impenetrable force that like, you just can't break through. There's no, well, she doesn't use any reason that's gonna work with them. She hasn't figured out a way in with them. And like, I feel bad because it's like, it would be exhausting, you know?
Do you know what the thing that I respect about her the most is she knows she's had people the household 2 times in a row say I don't like you, I don't trust you in this game, but she's still trying, like cracks in groups, she's still trying, and that's someone that I want to see play the game, whether I would like them in real life or agree with a lot of the choices they make. I still want to see their gameplay. So I commend her for that and not just giving up when the house is telling her they basically want her gone. So that was a good casting choice. I think Min Lee was a great casting choice, and we shouldn't be only critical about the shitty ones you made.
I mean, maybe somebody's friend, Carol, like, or, you know, they're like, we'll give her a shot, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe. This is where Min gets her nickname now from Sheldon, Cockroach. Love it. She'll survive an apocalypse. Like today, she can survive outside. She'll survive Corona, COVID-19. She will.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing to talk about. And he falls asleep in the studio room. Dopey music playing.
It was funny on Angie falling asleep. It was, but the reason for showing it, I don't know why.
Well, because there's no content, because it's all for nothing.
Yeah, and no one does that because they know that they're just going to do Carol this week, right? Yeah, yep. But so this is the thing. Why is Sheldon so scared? Is it just a no-brainer, like guaranteed thing that if Sheldon said, sorry, Carol, screw you, I'm going to put up Min and Maddie, let's say, and then Carol just gets fuming and self-evicts, does it cancel the week? I would say the week keeps going, and they're just like, oh, well.
Well, because Carol wants to end it on her own terms. Okay.
I don't care about that. I'm talking about what they're all acting like. If they don't just give Carol this, the week is dissolved. Like, is it dissolved? I don't think so.
It might be. It might be. Just
well, I think it's the maybe, but they should have just not. Like, I agree. Like, shouldn't have put Carol up and be like, deal with your week yourself.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Carol. I'm playing a game. But this is a game I'm in that I want to be in.
Right. God, Carol, why are you still here? God.
There's nothing she could have said or done for me to put her up if I was Sheldon. I don't care if I even had a Brooke saying this was strategy-wise. My HOH, my rules. That's.
Did you watch Celebrity Big Brother 2?
No.
Well, on a Meta World Peace, it was like every week he's like, I want to go home, I want to go home, I want to go home. And they're just like, okay. And like they just did not ever put him up until like, I don't know, Final Four or something like that. You're just like.
Wait, he came back?
What?
Meta World Peace, he's in the first one, is he not?
He's the first one, whatever. Yeah.
But I thought he did quit. Or no, they voted him out. They voted him out.
It is the first one. Sorry. Yeah. But like they voted him out eventually. But like for first little bit, they're just like, okay. They just did not even.
Carol should have just complained that she needed to be home for her baby for the breast milk.
I was irritated. I was so pissed about that.
Rudy. Come on, Rudy.
I remember. I have watched most of that season. Yes. Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say 2 when I meant 1.
Yeah.
There's so much boring content. So next, Sheldon takes Rianne to Wendy's because he can't read her. So he wants to kind of have an opportunity to say, I love the crispy chicken.
And speak with her mouth full. The amount of words she said with Frosty gurgling in her mouth was disgusting.
I didn't notice.
She was like, so many times. It was real.
Well, I have to tell you, okay, so that Wendy's watch party that I did for like the super fan thing, like, I don't know if I even said this to you guys, but like they gave us no napkins at one point.
Yes.
And to talk and tweet and do it all on camera was like, I gotta tell you, like, it was super fun. Like I loved it. But at points I was like, how do I look while I do this? I'm like eating and then watching a show and tweeting, and JoJo and Jenna are just chirping and talking, and I can't hear the show. Yeah. And I was like, shut up, please. It was like, so eating on camera and like that would be a challenge that I never really thought of. Like,
but like because you don't usually do that. Like in film and television, you maybe take one small bite that you chew the whole time. Like you never actually eat. In The Bachelor, when they have their dinner dates, they've already eaten before and they just have food on a plate in front of them. Like,
that's true.
Because continuity wise, it doesn't work because like if you've eaten half the burger, you can't eat half the burger again. So you're just like.
Could you imagine just on The Bachelor? How you doing? Oh, I'm just.
This is so nice. But the point is, I think, is Rianne just doesn't always need to say words when food is in her mouth. Regardless of how much she's eating, just wait until the bite is done and talk like you would at home in your living room with people around. Like that's the point.
But when you're a have-not, fuck, man, I don't know. Like,
a lot of food. Like 3 bags of Wendy's. That's so much food.
That's a good amount of food right now.
I mean, I would love to try that Plentiful burger.
Oh, it looks juicy. Great.
Yeah, it's good.
It's not part of their ad campaign, so we're not talking about it.
But I would love to try it. Anyways.
Yes.
So Carol tells Min that she cannot guarantee that she won't self-evict. And I think that Min was very scared that if she does self-evict, that someone else would go up on the block beside her, and then Min will more likely go home.
Yeah.
So Min's kind of scared about this, but she's also pushing the fact that like, hey, Carol really wants to go, guys. Let's honor her wishes, guys.
Let's reset and rally this. Let's get her out.
Well, I mean, I wanted this to happen this way for the fact I want Min to stay, but I didn't want it to happen that way because I wanted Carol to just be like, oh, what? And then self-evict right after. That'd be amazing. But then Sue, though, gets wind of this and she starts like crying because she's like, she knows that Min wants to come after her. And I don't know who wanted to come after whom first, but like they kind of have like, they're both targeting each other basically.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any idea like who started that?
I don't really know what happened.
No.
But I think mostly because Sue is so loud and like.
I think that they're just both two like strong female personalities. That one is like Sue, who I changed my complete opinion of from the beginning. Like from the beginning to now. Like I really like her. I would totally get along with her. She seems like a great girl. And then Min the same way. But those two girls, I know. They would not get along in real life. Like they wouldn't get like they pull focus from each other. They pull focus in a room, and like it's the same as like alpha guys. It's like there could only be one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sue said though that like really resonated with me. Like, I mean, I like Sue more than I did in her like pre-bio stuff, but like I did find her a little bit irritating instead of like just being like, let's just go after Min. Like, why don't you go and try to work with Min and like, you know what I mean? Just choose another strategy instead of like just having one single-minded focus. But she was like, I would die to be in this game, and Carol is fucking up her life in this game. And I was like, yeah, Carol, you're fucking up everybody's life in this game.
I like how the producer showed that a lot of the house guests weren't on board with this, but they were kind of keeping it to themselves and kind of talking behind Carol's back about their true intentions. But I don't think Carol probably got wind of those feelings from people, and I wish that the house guests would have said it a bit more to her and been like, "This is selfish." I love how Sheldon said you took the house hostage, because that's literally what she did, all just to get her own way when she fought in no way to secure that she will be on the block or be evicted. She's just asking for these things, and if you go against her, now she has ammo against you? No, like, and she would have used ammo against them, being like, this is what I wanted. Now you're not giving this to me. You're evil. Well, no, you're stupid for wanting to leave. So
yeah,
you can't commit to in the first place.
How dare you?
I know. Well, this is what she called the house meeting. And I was so furious because she down pulls in. She's like, I'm asking for help here. I know it's hard sometimes for people to ask for help. And I felt that it was emotional manipulation in the sense that like, oh, people don't want her, there's someone, she's depressed, and like we're mental health and we're obstructing her mental health. Like, you know what I mean? I felt that she was using that as a strategy to get her way. And I really don't think that that was a fair, excuse or whatever reason for them to give to the house guests. I thought it was like a low blow.
Yeah, because clearly you've seen a psychologist going into this house. Your mental state is completely fine. You all had to do a personality test, and like what I don't understand is that you're going to use that, and that just we get it. It's hard. It's hard to be on that show. It's hard to be in that house. Cool, but just like
suck it up, Buttercup.
My coping mechanisms, which I know what they are, and I knew when I first walked into the audition that I would be giving up all of them. Why can you use them now as an example of or an excuse as to why you should be gone? We're spending entirely too much time on Carol.
It's all the episodes.
it's all Carol.
I agree, but it's just we're saying the same angry things that we all agree.
Oh no, there's more, dude.
But one thing I do want to say about that, I don't remember who it was, but someone did go into the diary room and say that they asked the producers, like, what did she pass the psych? Like, is she like sound mind? Like, is she? It might have been Sheldon. I can't remember who it was, but like being like she's asking me to do this and saying that her mental health is in question here, etc. Like, is she okay? That is a fair question, because if she's saying that she's not okay, like, I don't know, it just puts people in a moral
if you're like mentally not okay, are we going to be okay that you're not mentally okay? Like if we leave you in this house, is she going to flip out? Is she going to hurt me?
Well, hopefully, and then she'll go home.
Hit me, Carol, and then you can go home.
Take a knife to someone's neck. I don't know. Headbutt somebody. Come on.
Oh, God.
Give people what they want. Okay, I'll just ramble through it. So Sheldon obviously is frustrated that it was the 7th time that he's not going to be getting on his target. Blah, blah, blah. Brooke is saying to him that, like, it's still good. Like, they're not going to get any more blood on their hands. Blah, blah, blah. They can hide in the shadows a bit more. And then, so exciting. The moment. What's the moment? Can you guess the moment?
The Wendy's twist. That's in the next episode, but yeah, I know.
No, it's not. Well, something happens. It says in Sheldon's room, and do they tell us this? And then they showed the actual thing. Okay, so there's gonna be either he can cancel someone's vote, doesn't matter this week, or he can play in the veto like the game used to be played until 2 seasons ago. So,
yeah.
Thanks.
Wow.
But
superpower.
This power was said like in week 4 it's gonna come out, and this will be like it has to go to the HOH, and like it has no value this week or for the season, but like it was still they had to put it into play. So
or do you think that the producers had a feeling that they weren't going to make it past this week and decided to get it in there because they had to get all their sponsor plugs in right away?
Probably, but I think also just the sooner they get it done, the better, and that seems like an early game power anyways. So like the longer the season goes, it's just there's less votes, and once you get to 6 people or 5 people, everyone's just playing in the vetoes anyway. So it's like doing it early makes more sense.
For sure.
Yeah, but Chantal, I agree with you. I agree with you. Like that
it's like, let's get that in there for sure.
Just in case. It was under my I don't know. I always thought that OLG, like they have to probably send in like a template of this power, this competition here and here. These powers get introduced. This twist happens week 5. Like they basically send in a script of how the season's going to go. And I don't think you can just like tinker or twist around with that too much because it'll look like favoritism and it's not fully fair. Sure. But they did have a reset week. Maybe they talked and maybe they also were like, okay, this is coming up in 2 more weeks.
But then again, like the twist doesn't make sense for the whole Carol thing. So like that could have been just the week it was supposed to happen anyways.
Either that or like you're saying though, Nick, like when they did the reset week, they're like, okay, what else should we shuffle around just in case we get closed down? Like who knows what's going to happen with this COVID stuff? Like let's like get this in. Like we we want to satisfy all of our responsibilities to the sponsors, just so we're not in deficit, like cash wise to them, and like let's get that power through, you know.
Yeah, it
So
could have even been on week 4, but since Jamar and Kyle were kicked out, they're technically on like week 5 now, so they just boosted it the week. Then yeah, like the round of the next eviction that way. I don't know.
So we're at the ceremony, and womp womp. Sheldon puts up Min and Carol, and you see Carol do like a.
Yeah.
I was so pissed.
He took it like, okay, I'm going into battle. I'm on the block. I'm just go.
That was the end of that night. So Wednesday's done. At this point, though, in real life, we found out that it was Wednesday, right? That we found out.
Yeah, Sunday's episode ended with the noms, and then Wednesday it starts with Arissa saying, "This is what's happening. The government did this. Like the house guests are now gone, but we've made this episode before. We were told to shut down fully, so enjoy it for what it is." And then they do the house meeting and tell the house guests of like, "Oh yeah, the borders are shut down on the 21st."
Exactly. Yeah, Carol's excited that she proved that she lasted a month. Like, you got it, girl. Let's just skip to that part when they tell the house guests. I really thought though that they were going to shut it down there.
Yeah.
Like how they build it up, I was like, this shit's scary.
Yeah.
Like this many cases, this many things, this is shut down. All schools shut down. Like, and they're like, sports teams shut down. They're like, like what? Borders closed. What's that? Like, it was so scary how they told everything.
You could see it on the house guests' faces. They were like, it was hitting hard, and like I think even like Vanessa or Brooklyn, like they like shaking, like in disbelief at some of the news they were hearing. Like, and those are like real responses, but they said it in a way that was a little dramatic, but it was also just very heavy content and dramatic content, so they didn't need to jazz it up in any way. So it was a heavy moment, and I was kind of like, I love watching the deep moments, whether they're good, happy ones, or really like shocking, jarring ones, like Ramsey leaving the house with his dad's news, or even when like people their family members come in, and it's like in season 2, I remember like Netta got to go behind the curtain, and then they all get to see a family member, and it was like really, I always cry on those things all the time, whether it's good or strong or negative or positive. So it almost got me that way, because I was like, man, this is serious shit, and what must they be thinking right now? Like,
well, just because like we've been living it, and so it's been progressive for us, and just like, you know, like, okay, this is happening now, and this is happening now, and okay, this is happening now, and okay, now we're all isolated, like, so we've been able to kind of grow into getting used to the idea of the change.
right.
But to be completely separated from all friends, family, like you've already separated from the life that you knew, and that you're coming back to a life that you don't even know, like, it's so cool to watch their reaction to that. Like I find that also really, really riveting television.
And also from like the media, like from the social media perspective, is like we're all sitting here knowing that the show is on and having all these people on our social medias going, are they gonna shut it down? They should shut that down. They should, like, before they were even like announcing that it was shut down, I literally was like on my phone arguing with somebody being like, no, they're fine. They're fine in there. And then boom, in that conversation, someone sent it to me, and then you sent it to me, and then someone else sent it to me. And I was like on my social media being like, if one more fucking person, that's why I put up on my social media, I'm like, hey, it's canceled. I know. Stop sending it to me and saying that I know, okay?
What, Nick?
I got people who don't even watch the show sending me messages like, oh, did you hear it's canceled? It's canceled. I'm like, of course I did, but like, why do you care so much? Or why are you? Maybe they have no other fun news to talk about.
You guys have a lot, like, and I will just say thank you guys so much for watching us, because like honestly, it's actually made us like, it's made me feel really good that you guys actually like are tuning into watching this. I've had people say, that this is something that they look forward to every week listening to us talk. So I really appreciate you guys. So subscribe down below if you haven't done it already.
Please, and hit the bell so you can get any of our updates.
We have a whole season left of Big Brother 8 to talk about, and
We're just gonna like do a fantasy one. Like we should just get out for what happens for the rest of it.
We could just like ad lib and be like, oh my God, did you hear who won HOH? Yeah, it came down to this person. And we just keep like telephoning it down and just make the week happen.
And then it has one of our three in the final three, and then like
nobody get out of here. Oh, maybe Maddie.
Maddie could, yeah.
Okay, there's not really that much. Like, I actually don't care to talk any more about the episode. They basically, like, JL was really hungry, and Canada voted for him to get dishes.
Mm-hmm.
Yay! I mean, I wanted him to get it really badly, like more than Sue, obviously, because like I just wanted Sue to suffer more. And JL, I don't know, he's growing on me. He's so cute. So that was a segment.
Veto competition happens. One thing I really loved was, I think the competition was cool. It was very tough, it seemed. And I love how Hira was very, how Hira won. Like I said, I liked seeing his story building, and he didn't need to win it, but he just wants to go out there and prove it, build a resume, and you'll get people coming up to him and either being scared of him like they already are, or people, now he's on people's radar, like, oh, this is someone I should probably not discredit and come work with or pull into alliance when numbers are starting to scatter. And like, I loved how Hira won it. I hate how JL hosted it. It was just so annoying to watch. His voice and his comments, it was just so annoying. But I think they were telling him put it on thick. But remember when Brendan was a wizard and Brittany's like, oh, making fun of Brendan as a wizard. Like, it was reminding me of that. Brendan. Oh, I bet Brittany was at home if she's watching that season being like, oh, what is it with these wizard costumes and these idiot voices?
Oh, one moment though that like I was like I felt for Min was when she was telling Brooke and Sheldon about, you know, what she went through kind of growing up and like being a runaway teen and going to group homes and foster homes and running away. And you know, I mean, you know that she's probably been through a lot just because of her tough exterior and how she kind of comes around, but it's like at least seeing the softer side of her, like, it makes you understand how she is. And it was probably part strategy just to make people have more empathy towards her, but I appreciated hearing that from her. You know, I was like, thanks, Min. Like, you're not just a bitch. You're hard in a little bit, and like I still love her no matter what, but at least she's showing her heart a little bit to the house guests.
I think it was a very real moment and a real story, but I also think the little bit of strategy or benefit that telling that story could have, I don't think was lost on her either. I think she knew telling the story makes her look more human, more approachable to the HOH and the Power Alliance that's in power right now. That's a good thing too.
And how do you guys feel about her teaming up with the girls from the Evictors and like being like, yeah, see, I thought it was good too.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, I'm like, I just want to see that play. I wanted to see this battle. Like, I wanted to see Min stay. I wanted to see her gather those troops. I wanted to see her win that head of household. I wanted to see her put up friggin' Angie and Sue and just see what they do at that point. You know what I mean? Like,
I think because I was also watching it too, rooting for that, because like Rianne was even talking to Angie, convincing her, Min's not going to put you up. Min's not going to put you up. Stop thinking that. And pulling in the floaters in the middle. And I think that could have been, Rianne could have been a nice bridge to get them all working together, being like,
oh, make sure to put up Chris instead.
Right? I think I would have liked to see that. And that's what I was saying about Min before, is that even though she had her back against the wall, probably gone this week, she was never stopping. She never stopped trying to just see where she could be an extra number. And I love that in a player. Like, I hate people who quit. Never give up.
Except when she's like really poorly lying when she's like, so like, should I win this veto? And you're just like, we know you're gonna try for it. Like, should you use it? Yeah, you should use it. Like, you're not fooling anyone here. Just like being agreeable and going with the house here, man. Yeah. But it was cute.
Is Sheldon bashing Min all the time and Min like smiling all like coy? Are they flirting? Like,
I think they're flirting. Well, you saw when like what she said, she's like, I'm not a quitter. No, when they're in the kitchen and he's like, oh, like you're a pretty cockroach today or something like that. And like she's like, oh, you know, you always you insult me and then you be nice to me, and you insult me and be nice to me. And she's like, because you know I like it. Like, I think they're flirting. or like she's using that because that's her thing. It's like allowing people to be like kind of sexually motivated by keeping her. I feel it's like a part of the strategy. Like
when she went into his room and she's like, "Thank you so much for putting me up." Like, thank you so much.
I think I'm not convinced that Sheldon's into Min. I think it's just like, if she stays, I want to keep up this playful, like I'm being brutally honest with her that I want her out of the game, but she still wants to come talk to me and she's not smearing me through the mud. She hasn't been bad mouthing Sheldon. She hasn't tried to rally against Sheldon like she has been against Kyle, who wanted her out too. Sheldon has made direct moves to get Min out. Kyle hadn't done anything except for talking about how he wanted to do it. And she's still kind of like on board with Sheldon. And that, like, I think Sheldon was
that part of her dating history might be more predominantly Black men. So I think that she feels that she might be able to work her magic. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what I think is going on there.
Yeah.
She's also flirts with Brooke though. Like they're having like game chats and bubble baths. You know, it's like, okay, man, getting in the tub with Miss Brooke. You. What else?
She's just trying to stay too. She's just trying to stay. Poor thing.
She's like, I was gonna go take it too far. I'm just not gonna say what I was gonna say. But yeah. What else happens? Hero doesn't use it.
Yeah, they give them that whole like, oh, what if we do use it? Wow, wouldn't you? The look on their faces if we veto Carol and be like, no, you're staying. Then she'd quit, and we can still get Min out. Like they showed that conversation. I'm glad the house guests had that conversation and they showed it. But they tried to make us think like, what if Hera does use it? Oh, I wonder what this veto ceremony is going to be. Like it was silly. But I'm glad they still showed that the house guests were considering like what world would it be if we did use it, and I like those kinds of conversations.
So yeah, I guess is that everything?
Yeah, veto ceremony goes. Carol's thinking she's gone. Min thinks she's safe. Sheldon says, I still have that cancel a vote. We'll see how it goes. And I wish we could have seen what happened.
And the virus is still out there.
So what do you think they're going to do with the episode next week?
Tell them it's going to be their reactions. Every single one of them, what are the reactions? They'll tell them. Maybe they'll do something like a little like, hey guys, this is how you guys looked on camera. Do like a little thing. Like they're going to have to, they need to send them out with a nice little thank you so much for being a part of this, because it's really upsetting kind of for each one of them.
I think that I would not be shocked if I see an award ceremony, like best fight, but well, maybe not best fight, but certain awards of like silliest costume in a competition, who looked the goofiest, or things like that. Like I would see those kinds of moments, because that's always a fun part to reflect on, even though it hasn't been that long in the house. I think they're going to have a big dinner together, probably Wendy's.
Summer fresh.
Maybe, yeah. But and then they're going to also explain how the prize money is being used. Hopefully they all get to leave with some of it except Carol.
Oh my God. If Carol leaves with any of the money, I'll be so frustrated. But she probably will, because she did make it.
Yeah. She already expressed that she doesn't need it.
Oh, fuck.
Now, okay, so I was talking about this with you, Nick, about how they said in their statement that Big Brother, didn't say Big Brother Canada, it says the show is taking its final bow, I think it said.
I don't remember the exact title, but you saw the words final bow. I'm sure I saw it too, but I think they always called it the show or the show, but I think the show is only what season it's on. Like we don't ever say that we watch a season 7, we say we watch Big Brother Canada. So I think they can use them interchangeably, and it always means that the season it's taking its final bow for the night or for the year, and it's gone for now. I don't think, and I certainly hope not, that this is them saying Big Brother's done forever. I can't see why. It has a lot of momentum now again, and we'll see.
I'm thinking that maybe I'm just playing the other side. I can see your side easily being what happened, that they're going to still go forward, that they may not renew it right away to try to get the fans to rally again to bring it back, especially with all like the negative kind of publicity and negative press about like kind of how they handle certain things, and the fans are quite vocal about being frustrated with how they dealt with some situations in the house, that maybe they want to gain their fandom back by having them rally for them again. That's might be what
it might be good market research for them to be like, is this show still viable? They could just go ahead and plan season 9 for February again next year, and they're like, no one watches it, and they're like, oh, well, that was a flop. But they might have lost so many fans and lost a lot of credibility with this season that they will do exactly what you're saying, to see like, okay, wait, we still got loyal fans. They realized this was a bit of a blunder in some ways, and let's start fresh. So I wouldn't be shocked if they do that intentionally, even though they have the sponsors and the money ready to go, just to see whether the demand is still there, because it's a pricey show to make.
What do you think, Mike?
I don't know. I'm just in anticipation. I have really no opinion right now about like whether or not they're going to bring it back. They should bring it back. Do I feel like some of these people deserve to come back and play in the next one? I think so. Maybe 4 of them should come back. What's that?
Which 4?
Min, Sheldon, Brooke, and Vanessa.
Min, Sheldon.
But then JL, Rianne, and Maddie. Like they're also like they're all. It almost should be maybe like 12 new house guests move into the house, and then Canada votes between all the people from season 8 to go back in, and 4 go back in. Who knows? That'd be kind of fun.
For Byron Big Brother, I mean, the cast size is 12 people. I'll take all 12 minus Carol, or I'll take Carol as a joke and just evict her myself when she gets here. But I would take them all, and they could do a season of that if they want to.
Oh my God, we could probably get that to happen. A lot of, or at least the people that are in Ontario and Montreal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get Maddie, you can get Jamar.
Min's living in Toronto right now, and we have a lot of mutual friends. I looked her up on Facebook. So that could be a thing.
I mean, if they want, I would do a season of that, a separate like one-off, because I already have season 4 planned. But
that could be interesting. But then we can get even the players, like the past players that have already played. So like you can get maybe Sarah Hanlon. You could get Andrew Miller. You can get Hamza. You can get Aika maybe.
Get Dimitri, Emily.
What?
Erica.
Erica. And then who's from here? Nico?
I mean, yeah, everyone's welcome.
I think you get Bobby.
Chris.
Probably get Bobby.
Bobby in Ontario?
Well, I think so.
I thought he was like out west with Maddie, the other Maddie.
Maybe.
Either way,
you get Ramsey.
He's Toronto.
Yep.
Yeah, he's Toronto. I saw him at a concert.
Adele. Delhi.
Yeah, you could probably get Netta. You could probably get Anil.
That's who I was thinking. Anil.
Gary's in. Well, I'm.
Gary's here.
Back to,
this is more fun right now.
This is fun, yeah. But we could do hey, they shut your house down, but let's let the rest of your season play out. You can all go home, be on an even playing field, watch the episodes, hear the conversations, resume.
But there's no money.
Well, no, that would still be for the prize money, but they'd have to pay me.
I think.
Or I'll just like talk to Big Brother and be like, yo, give me the $100,000. I got this. I'll finish this out.
Got it.
Well. Wait, Mike, you were saying that you wanted to maybe talk about some awards? Did you think of any?
Well, I mean, like, I really didn't come up with any, but I was going to be like, I don't know if they were going to do awards for the last thing, but like, we should do like maybe best fight, or maybe we can come up with the awards together now, and then the next one we can like give them out.
Because we'll see what they actually did, and then we can either it's already done and we've wasted our time talking about it.
I don't want to just, I don't want just to like, I don't want to do it and then them do it better than us. Because we will, but like, we'll do it way better. Yeah, it's a little upsetting. I was very upset on Wednesday, not just because of the show was over, that I couldn't get to film my thing anymore, which I was really upset over. So yeah, it sucks. But at the end of the day, everyone needs to be safe and sound, and I'm glad everyone's staying at home and doing their thing.
I've gone outside on the front porch twice in a week. I'm literally just staying inside all the time. I don't hate it. I know you don't hate it, Chantel, but yeah, it's been.
You guys heard my story about when I went to go get a poutine the other night?
No.
So I go to Smoke's Poutineery, and like I haven't seen anybody in a fucking week, right? And I'm walking down the street, and I'm like, I booked it. I went and got weed, and then I was like, oh, I'm gonna get a poutine. I'm gonna get a buffalo cauliflower poutine, and I'm like, cool. And I get to the door, and it's locked, and I see a guy inside. And I'm like, well, maybe they're on set hours, and like, fuck, like, okay. And I knock on the door, and I'm like, okay, like, and he's like, come on in, and I'm like, it's locked, and it was a push door, not a pull.
You forgot what doors are.
I literally stood there for 5 minutes going, he thinks I'm sick. I think he's sick. I'm getting this poutine and I'm a loser. And I hadn't been outside in like forever. I was sweating, not with a fever. But yeah, and I got home and I devoured it and it was great. But I just thought everyone should know that. Just check your motor functions.
Well, I started intermittent fasting.
Oh, good.
I'm going to pick up the guitar probably on Monday.
Great.
So, yeah.
I think I've learned already like 12 new board games, like heavy big ones. Like we've just gamed so much, and this is good times for me.
I learned how to make myself into a cartoon, and I was trying to do lip syncs as a cartoon. So I'm trying to like get those set up, and it's pretty awesome. People are like, "How did you do that?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I'm a genius." So, yeah, I'll figure it out. Oh, it's great.
Well, yeah. I'm very sad that this is our second to last Big Brother Canada 8 podcast. Hopefully we can figure out something else to talk about in our downtime until maybe Big Brother 21 comes up. It's been a blast and I've been really enjoying it, but I'm sorry that this is our second to last episode.
I know. We'll have a good last one.
But I mean, keep following us on Reality Realness. Maybe we'll talk about Survivor. Maybe we'll talk about...
I'm going to cover, with a friend of mine from Vancouver, the challenge. So she's watched many seasons. I've watched all the seasons. And so we're going to do a little 2 Black women talking about the challenge. Yeah.
I'll watch. I'll watch.
So that's some content that will be coming up for sure. Obviously, if you guys ever have anything that you want to talk about, like, let's do it. We have all the time in the world and all the eyes that we'd ever want to have because everybody's just sitting at home bored. So let's entertain them. So like, subscribe down below. Add us on Instagram at Reality Realness with 3 S's, or me at ShanFranFran, or
you can find me at Michael Pez, like the candy.
And I'm at Nick.Rovers, like my name with a dot between it.
Wow.
Like your name with a dot between it. Thank you.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.